We are live, and let me see my notes, guys, for one quick second. And today we're going to talk about Archbee. And in Archbee, we're going to talk about this. So, Dragos, these are my notes. Can you see them?
Yeah, a bit.
Can't. You can't. And this is why, guys, you need to be using Archbee for your business because to collaborate with your teams. See, you see the old pen and paper right now that I'm using for all my notes is just for myself. But if you want to share these with your team, if you want to collaborate, you want to your people to come in to give you ideas to, you know, that's where Archbee comes into play. And that's why in today's webinar, we're going to discuss everything about Archbee, the lifetime deal of Archbee. And we have a very special guest with us. That is Dragos, the founder of Archbee. So Dragos, how are you doing?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. Super excited to be here, and very happy to talk about today how your team can improve communication and efficiencies using asynchronous communication and documentation, and why Archbee is one of the best tools to help you do that.
Indeed, indeed. So if you're struggling with your documents or your wiki or your notes or knowledge base or etc., then this is the tool for you. And we have many people that are joining in from different places here. Fernando is here. Hi, Fernando. How are you doing? And we have Suman Jain also here, who is watching us from India. So in today's webinar, we're going to discuss everything about the Archbee lifetime deal. It's a limited lifetime deal, only available for Black Friday. It's going to end anytime soon when the codes run out, and you guys should be getting it. And why you should be getting it? Because we're going to show you what this tool does today and how you can use this tool. We'll be showing you a quick demo as well, how this tool works, how you can use this tool for your business. So, it, to put it in a nutshell, it's for your team wiki. You can create a fast real-time wiki for your team. For the knowledge base, we at PitchGround use knowledge base as well. It's very important if you're having a business. You can use it Archbee for project documentation, or you can just use it for notes, like how I was using pen and paper here, but I cannot collaborate with Dragos. But with Archbee, if I had all these notes here, I could have just sent a link and collaborated in real time with Dragos. And that's what Dragos is going to show us in today's webinar. But before we get started with all the demo, go into the tool, etc. Dragos, why don't you tell me about when Archbee began and how it all started?
Yeah, happy to talk about that. So when I was getting bored of being the employee type in like 2016, I wanted to become a consultant. So I went and gave a bunch of companies software architecture advice, and in the span of 2 years, I was like working with like 30 or 40 companies because the gigs were short, and I kind of noticed how much companies are struggling with their documentation internally, but also externally for their customers. And I was talking to a couple of the CTOs I was working with, and most of them agreed with me that the current tools were not, perfect for the types of documentation that the modern team and the modern company that builds maybe software products or maybe does marketing or smaller companies need to actually make their documentation compelling, easy to write, and easy to read, and easy to structure, and the kind of things that makes your team efficient without being online all the time. This was
Indeed.
my motivation for building the product and building the company. And then around 2019 I started building this. In around 2 months, very quickly we launched an MVP, a beta on a product hunt, and since then it has been crazy.
Indeed. When you launched it last time on PitchGround, people went really crazy. They were like, if guys, you can literally check the group, search for the keyword Archbee in the group. You would see so many posts, updates from Dragos himself and from Udit and from other people who were just trying to find a solution for their problem, solution for wiki, knowledge base, documentation, etc. And if you're here for all that, we're going to show you an amazing solution called Archbee that you can use straight up after this webinar and get your documentation, wiki, team notes, collaboration, everything sorted. So, Dragos, why don't we quickly answer one question and then share your screen and you can show the demo. The
Sounds good.
question is from Suman Jain, where Google document can be used to share our notes to our team, right? Or is it better than them? Oh, Suman, this is so much better, bigger than what Google Documents does. And we're going to show it to you in just a bit. What do you want to say about this, Dragos?
Well, I think Google Docs is a pretty good product. It has its own place in the market, and they're doing their own thing, and they're good at certain types of documents. For example, if somebody collaborates on content or whatever, it's a good integration with their own ecosystem. So it's a good product like ours, but it's for different things. Archbee is more like real-time, really easy to structure, easy to use documents, not the long 100-page documents, just a 2-page, 3-page type of content that you instantly collaborate and share with your team.
Indeed. Indeed. Suman, I hope that answers your question, but you have to stick till this end of this webinar because we're going to show you all there is to know. We'll be showing you a demo and you will understand by yourself how Archbee is a lot different than Google Documents. So, Dragos, why don't you share your screen and let's get started.
Sure.
I personally love the Slack integration that is there. Udit is like attached it to the Slack and it works great. So guys, if you're using Slack workspaces, it has a Slack integration as well that you can use. So, yep.
Yeah, we have a bunch of integrations. I think we just hit 30 integrations last week. And yes, Slack is one of the most used and the most requested integrations for modern teams that use Slack to communicate synchronously, but they also need a secondary tool where they can store valuable information and keep it for the long run as knowledge, as valuable knowledge for their companies. And all of these tools that you're talking about, Archbee, Google Docs, and many others in the market, they're doing a good thing, and they are focused on different things. For example, we Archbee are focused on documentation, and this documentation can be made valuable for you or your users or your team at the same time from the same user interface. This is why what you see here in the left is a typical workflow that you would get in a software development team or sometimes a marketing team that needs to put up documentation for their customers. And the new way is having all of this into one tool, one source of truth for your whole team that you can use to efficiently grow and scale your team and onboard new people and amaze your customers, basically. Our mission and vision actually is to help teams create structure and share knowledge for your team and customers, but also for yourself, because as we progressed, we've seen actually people using Archbee as a notes app, even though it wasn't intended to be used as a notes app. So we're going to be talking about this a bit later, but yeah, this is our mission. What are some things that we can help you with? This is some high level stuff. We're not talking about specific features or stuff. We're talking about high level concepts and benefits and values that you can get from your team using any documentation solution, but more specifically Archbee, which is specifically geared to modern teams. The first one is you can build and develop great customer relationships if you share good documentation with them. If you go right now to docs.archbee.io, you're going to see our own documentation, which is self-hosted by our product. You're going to see a lot of information there about our product. Even though it's simple and very easy to use, sometimes people have questions, and if they have the documentation in place, hosted on our own domain, and in the same way hosted on your own domain, it's going to be easier for them to reach and sometimes it's going to reduce customer support queries, and the customer support queries that are coming in are going to be resolved faster because your team is going to be able to answer them faster. Second one, you can use to scale your team, because in teams, the typical lifespan of one person in a team is like 2 or 3 years. This has been a big study a couple of years ago made by Google, and in 2-3 years, those employees of yours are going to acquire the knowledge required to operate and be productive in your team. But once they leave, all that knowledge is gone, and the other people that join are going to have to acquire it again. And it's a pretty inefficient way of doing it if you don't have good documentation for your team. So this is what our product can help you do. Internal documentation can help you speed up onboarding of your new employees. Also, reduce turnover of your employees. When you have an organization that's based on open knowledge, people tend to stay longer. This has also been a study from Google. I think it was 25 or 30% longer if everybody in your organization knew everything that was going on. Well, maybe not everything, but 95% of what employees need to know. And also retain knowledge in your company when those people come and go. Use cases. These are more specific, use cases for your team. And one of them is you can have product documentation on your own domain. For example, if you have a SaaS business, am I still online?
Yes, you're still online.
Yeah, I was worried a bit because I had no audio in my headphones.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of them is product docs on your own domain. If you run a SaaS company, most of the times your customers are gonna need to have a knowledge base or product documentation that they can search into and find quick answers quickly. Then maybe you can answer them, because it's when you offer a SaaS service, your customer support most of the time is going to be overwhelmed if you don't have good documentation. And these product docs actually are not the simple knowledge base that you can get from Intercom or Help Crunch or whatever documentation system, as I call it, online. These are more advanced documents that you can use to share integrations with, or API documentation with, or for example, if you open up your API for other developers or other companies to use, it's going to be way simpler if you have a specialized tool to do this. And Archbee definitely helps you with all of those use cases. From diagrams to API docs to change logs, we've got it all in there for you to simply use it and not have to build hosted sites yourself. The second one is a team wiki. Every team needs a wiki, and this is what I was talking about before with the onboarding and efficientizing your workflows in your team. Wikis have a bad kind of allure in modern teams, because when somebody hears about wiki, they think about the old Wikipedia media wiki type product that was very, very hard to use, and it was a horrible experience. No, the new types of wikis that our product offers is very, very simple to use. You don't have to learn a new language or an obscure language to create content, and it's very easy to share with your team or with your customers. The second one was document collaboration, where you have these online docs that all your team collaborates on. For example, somebody might comment on something you wrote, or they might have a question regarding a specific paragraph in your content. We also help you do that. And lastly, we've seen people use our system as a notes app. This has been an unintended consequence, because we've never tried to become a tool that individual people can use to organize their workflows. But it has happened, and we're not the perfect system to do it. There are basically better systems to do it for yourself, but it's becoming better and better, and people see the benefits of all the integrations we have and all the great user experience we have so far. Let me show you a couple of screenshots first, and then we'll go into the demo. This is how the app looks like. This is basically how you can manage your team's knowledge. This is an example of a comment, somebody commenting on your own content. This is the table of content. This is how a documentation site that I was talking about before, or product docs or Knowledgebase looks like. These are our customers, pathfix.com. They also had a lifetime deal earlier this year, and they've been using our product ever since to build their own documentation site. Go to docs.pathfix.com and you're going to see our product serving this content live without the people at Pathfix having to create manual documentation sites and update it and push to production and stuff like that. It's very easy with our system. You just put up a CNAME in your DNS provider, link it to our system, and then that's it. You only have to create the content and structure it. And also, this is also from Pathfix, which is a SaaS company. This is the API documentation that I was talking before. You cannot get this with Intercom or HelpCrunch or the typical knowledge-based software that a typical, the generic one that many people use today. Also, our system is not only text. As I showed you before, it's API docs, but it's also diagrams. You can build it in line. You don't have to use another system to build your diagrams and workflows and mind maps coming soon. You can do it all in here. You don't have to pay for draw.io, or you don't have to pay for Lucidchart. It's all in here. Very simple to use. And yeah, search is very, very fast. We've been putting a lot of effort into making the system fast, because judging from other solutions that people are comparing us to, their system have become slow, and we're putting a lot of effort into making sure ours doesn't become slow as we progress and add features and make everything like a full product. This is the presentation. I think I can go into the real demo if you want me. Minan?
Absolutely. Before going into the real demo, I think I have to show how easy it is and why people need documentation for their businesses. Guys, especially during Black Friday, and if we keep Black Friday aside, your business is growing because you're buying amazing ton of lifetime deals from us. It's better than last year. It's Black Friday. We can totally see that. That means your businesses are growing, and growing businesses need documentation. I'll tell you why. It's a specific use case that I have personally used in our workspace. It's about, I'm hiring different people and we are making SOPs regarding social media, and it's my personal use case, by the way, but there are many other different use cases that you can use. The possibilities are really endless. I'll quickly show you what Archbee uses it for themselves, but my personal use case was about making the SOPs. Like, if you're joining as a social media manager in PitchGround, this is what you need to do. This is this first step that you need to do. This is where you'll find all the passwords. This is where you'll find all the details that you need to do, the brand guidelines, the brand colors that you need to use. Everything is mentioned in that one particular document, and it helps a lot. Whenever a person joins our company, I just give him the link of the documentation, and that's it. That's totally it. And all he has to do is go through that, ask me if there are any doubts, and it makes it so simple. Otherwise, it's like I need to get on a call with him, explain him something, explain him another thing, and then he's going to, ask me another doubt, and then it's just all madness.
Yeah.
The document is there. They can refer anytime for any position that's out there in PitchGround. And I'm going to share my screen. And that's how documentation really helps, guys. It saves a ton of time. It helps, even your customers understand about important FAQs, etc. Because we personally use documentation and knowledge base on our PitchGround website as well. So this is the app.archbee.io. You can see here they built a nice little documentation that you can host it on your own domain name. The Google Docs doesn't let you do that. And you can see everything here. Getting started with Archbee, onboarding, collections, workspaces, integrations, every single thing. But let's say I'm just here and I just want to search about an integration. I don't have patience to read all this. Let's say I want an integration with Intercom. I just want to check it. And it's going to show me everything there is here from all this. It happened in a millisecond, guys. It's in the integrations here, but I didn't go through all this. I just searched it here. I just want to search for Slack. And there you go. I just found the Slack integration, how it works and everything. So basically I can search through every single thing from here just by one single search button, which yields me results faster than Google basically. So Dragos, why don't we show them the demo of, Archbee?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great example of what you said, onboarding and having good documentation for your customers, which reduces customer support queries and increases your trust to them. Because if you have good documentation externally, means you probably have good documentation internally too. So you're going to be an efficient team. You're not going to have to hire 1,000 engineers to build a good product and have to sell 80% of your business to be able to do it. So
Indeed.
let me share the screen, guys. Let me show you exactly the live app that helps you build that stuff. So what Minang showed you before is one of the collections we have in here. So if you look at the left, this navigation bar, you see all the collections we have, right? And one of those collections is docs.archbee.io. If you go there, you're going to see all of this documentation here. And the experience compared to other solutions in the space that help you host documentation is way, way better, because we were geared in the beginning to offer just internal documentation, and it has grown beautifully to also offer external documentation. So what you've seen there is actually this documentation collection. And in here, you can cycle through them. You can organize just by dragging and dropping. Let me show you something real quick. How easy it is to organize stuff. You can just drag and drop it in here. You can create as children. You can, do everything you want to in here. Create new collections, create templates, send them to archives, import docx and markdown from other systems you might be using. You have the search, which is also very fast for internal usage. You can search in any of your collections. Shortcuts are here. You just hit the keyboard and you're done. You can see the latest searches from your team. We're adding soon to see the latest searches from your customers, so you can answer them in the documentation. For example, here you're gonna have another one that says, well, latest searches from your customers, and then if you don't answer it in the documentation, you will then create the documentation to answer it. So this is the space. But let's talk a bit about the content editor. And let's create a new one, actually. Let's go into my private docs and create a new one that's, sorry, I have the headphones. And as you see,
launch. Yes.
Yeah. The editor is a very, very fine-grained experience that's very modern. You can type stuff in here. It's real time, collaborating with your team. You can format stuff just by using Markdown shortcuts, or if you don't know the Markdown shortcuts, you can just click and point and format them however you want to. You can set colors if you want to make something bolder, or you can set headings. You can comment on the stuff and mention your teammates. For example, if you say add here and mention Sarah, Sarah's gonna get a notification here, and she's gonna be able to answer this question: what is there left to add? Or you can also mention other documents. For example, let's mention quick, easy editing here. So we have a link to these. But you can also mention other people and recent documents in the main content as well. So this is the basic formatting principles. But let's just delete this real quick, because this is just the basic functionality that our app is offering. When you hit slash, you're going to see a bunch of blocks, custom blocks that are available for you to just use instantly, not have to integrate anything, not have to worry about how efficient your the concepts you want to express to your people are. For example, we have the basics: bulleted lists, checklists, tables, callouts. These also have, shortcuts. If you want to create checklists, they also work the same. So these are the basic blocks. But then come the media blocks. You can add files, images, YouTube videos, maps. It's very, very easy. You just add it in there. We also have a bunch of features for developers, like the code editor. You can write code snippets in multiple languages. The API doc that I showed you before, you can use it if you have a SaaS company and expose an API. You also have diagrams, the things that I showed you before. You just drag and drop in here, and you just search for stuff like AWS. You don't have to import the images yourself, and we have over 100,000 symbols in here. You can search in API docs. You can search in libraries, open source libraries. You can search programming languages. Whatever you can think of, it's here. We have a scraper that continuously searches the web and brings us the newest technologies here as SVG, so they scale. If you go on this, you can see there's no actual pixels in here because it's all SVG. So these are one type of diagram. We can also create diagrams with Mermaid, which is a more technical way of creating it. Mermaid is a syntax inherited from Markdown. You can see it's very, very easy to describe it and describe relations between things. Also in the developer space, you have all sorts of nice things like change logs. You can, when you improve something, you can relate that stuff very easily to your customers. But then you have the embed tabs, which we have 25 plus embeds that you can instantly add in here. You just paste the link. You just paste the Loom link, paste an Airtable, a Figma link, a Google Docs link, a Google Sheets link. We just embed it in here and make it very easy for you to share all of this. And if we don't have the integration for you yet, we're building a lot of them. But if we don't have it, you can just add an iframe in here and paste the link that your provider gives you, and it's going to show in line. Let me show you a couple of these. In the demo dots, I think we have a couple of integrations already. This is the Airtable. I think we removed the access to this one. This is the Envision. Wow. All of them are gone? No. This is the GitHub Gist. This is the Lucidchart embed. It's going to show up here real quick. Trello. Yeah, we have to sign in to Trello. Jira, if you're using Jira as a project management, you just paste Jira issues in here and they're going to be embedded and updated in real time. So this is part of the editor and nice to use editor that I was talking to you before. You also have auto-generated table of contents here. Let me show you a document that has more content. You can see all of this in the right here is auto-generated from the headings that you put in your content. They have hyperlinks. For example, if you click here, you can share the link with share this particular link with your team or your customers, and it's going to take them directly to this paragraph, not having to make them scroll to it. So this is the editor, and you can share individual documents with the outside world. For example, if you have your custom domain set like Minang showed you, we give you this link, but it's also available on our own domain. For example, let me show you this. You make it, and then you go to it. It's publicly available in an instant, this single document. But if you want to share more documents, for example, you want to share all of this collection in here, the demo docs, you want to share all of it. What you do here is go to the 3 dots and you copy this link, make it public first, and then copy this link. And what you'll see, this is the whole collection shared with our own domain, but you can also set your own domain. This is what we showed you before. So this document tree is generated. You don't have to do anything for it. The contents are generated. You have this very cool navigation here that you can guide your customers what they need to read next. These are the change logs that I showed you before. These are some they're called callouts when you want to draw attention to some very important information. You can see this is very a social experience. You can see who has contributed to this kind of stuff and make people want to contribute because they feel like they're part of your company. So this is how it looks like on the outside. Let me go back to the app because I want to show you a couple of things that are very interesting. These collections also can have role-based authorization. For example, let us go here into the account settings, into the workspaces, and you'll see the people that are in here in our workspace. And as you can see, they have different groups, and you can create custom groups and assign those groups to certain people. For example, Maxine is a knowledge manager, right? You can go back here, and then in each collection, you can assign permissions for those groups or even for individual users. If you have somebody new in your team and you don't want them to be able to edit, you can just remove the write. If you don't want them to see a certain collection, you remove the read and write, and they're not going to be able to see it here on the left. Some things are critical information, and not all team members need to know that stuff to ensure a proper and efficient team building. But this is I wanted to show this is possible, and it's a very nice way to do it. The public design, this is very customizable. Like I showed you before, the guys from Pathfix, their workspace looks different. They have their own logos, they have their own accent colors, they have their own integrations here, they have their own custom links. We just released last week, they're not using it yet, but you can set a custom footer here. And soon we're also going to have templates. For example, this is the first template we offer, but we're going to offer more templates. It's like you have the centered template that's going to be coming soon. You're going to have the typical layout that Intercom or README offers you. You're going to also have that, and it's going to be very easy to select between those. You're going to have a drop down here, and you're going to be say, well, I want this kind of template or I want that kind of template. It's very easy for you to select the accent color, the logos, the fav icon, customize the links. Recently, we added a very cool feature where you can customize the landing page for it. You can just drag and drop the custom HTML here to make it look exactly how you want it. And also custom templates are coming soon. Let's leave it on first document. But one critical aspect of sharing documentation online is that some companies just don't want to have it 100% public. They just want to have it 50% public, or just want to share it with their customers. And this is why we offer these cool features. So for most companies, none here will work. everybody with the link will be able to read the content. Some companies want to just set a password and share it with their customers. Some other companies just want to create guest accounts. If you're an enterprise company and you have 100 customers, that's enough to build, I don't know, a $10 million company. You create a guest account for each one of them. At scale, you can use the JWT tokens, though. You can read the documentation. You can have like half a day integration from one of your developers, set a JWT key in here, and then all your customers that have accounts in your app or your service are going to be able to be automatically logged in into the public space and nobody else. And also, like we said before, you can set your own domain in here. It's very easy. You set your domain, click set, go into your DNS provider, set a CNAME to host.archbee.io, and most of the time is in 10 minutes it's there. Sometimes if your DNS provider has a slow propagation rate, it's going to take a while, but you can also, we give you the whole link to see how the propagation status is going on. For example, this is we did it for one of ours, and this is already online for most of the DNSs in the world. Let's go back to this because yeah, this is very important. You can also have a custom experience from multiple points of view. For example, the custom JavaScript, like you see here, the team at Pathfix is using Crisp for real-time chatting with their customers, and they have the script that Crisp gives them, and they put it in here. It's very simple. It's the same for ours, by the way. We also use Crisp, and let me show you ours. In the custom code here, we have the Crisp snippet. Just add in here, and then when you go to our documentation, you have it in here in the right. Just talk to us. This is also available to integrate anything. You can put intercom in here or whatever lifetime deal you can think of. If they offer you the script snippet, you're going to be able to do it. Yeah. Let me go back here. The footer HTML.
So Suman, you just asked like, what is the difference between Google Docs and this? This is like a huge difference. Your own domain name, any widget that you want there.
Yeah.
It's like a huge difference.
Yeah, you can include like anything in here. You can include CSS frameworks and then use those frameworks to build custom CSS that makes your documentation site really yours. It's like you don't even have to think about this stuff. Get a developer for one day and he's going to be able to customize everything on top of the already great user interface we offer. And then we also have these very specific integrations. You can set your Google Analytics ID in here, or Intercom ID, and we generate that script for you because they're so common. They're so very common in the world today. Everybody wants to see how much people are spending in their documentation sites, and that's why they use Google Analytics to see the bounce times and see the dwell times. And it's also, what I want to mention here, it's also a good SEO experience. All of our public sites are actually server-side rendered. So all of this is picked up by Google, and they're going to give you some SEO juice for it. All of this. It's we've made it so that Google is not seeing a single page app. It's seeing the HTML before it hits the app. And on top of that, we also allow you to see and have the experience that an SPA has. So this might be of interest to you. If you have public documentation, you're going to get some link juice from Google.
And also the feature which you said, which like struck with me about knowing what your customers are also searching. That is, I can't tell you guys how important that is. And Dragos, to confirm, will the LTD users get that feature?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, man. This is interesting. Knowing what your customers are searching, and you put it in the knowledge base if it's already not there, and all your customer support queries are again slashed because you're put in what your customer is actually searching. That
Yeah,
is so
exactly.
so powerful.
It is. It's very powerful. We already keep the queries in the backend, so even if you didn't have, so if you already had the doc side live, for example, like Pathfix does, so when somebody searches, we keep that query in the backend. So when we launch the feature, Pathfix is gonna see in retrospect what customers have looked for when they were searching in their search bar. So when they come here and set like uh, product docs or whatever collection they have, they're gonna see the exact searches their customers did, and they're gonna be able to create the content to support that. Yeah.
Interesting. And we've been getting some amazing engagement about Archbee saying it's super astonishing. Thank you. I hope your name comes here, but yeah, it's coming as Facebook user. But thank you for your comment. And another user is saying Archbee is perfect. The only feature I wish it had was export to Word document or Google Doc. Ah,
Yeah,
is there
that's
like any,
no. So we don't keep we don't keep you from exporting your stuff. Definitely, you can export Markdown or you can export PDF, or so this is for the single usage. But you can also export your whole workspace. You just go here
wow.
and click, and you're gonna get a zip file with all of the content in your workspace and all of your users together with their groups. So if you want to move off Archbee, I don't think you will. Nobody does, but if you want to move, you're all covered. We don't export docx yet. We might be able to see it if see it happen if many people request for it. There's not enough demand for it. Let me show you something real quick, because this is, I think, the backbone of building software products and building SaaS. You need to be constantly in touch with your customers and understand what they want. Not necessarily doing what they want, but understanding their problems and why they're asking for that stuff. And we're constantly doing this. If you go here in the feature wish list and roadmap, you don't have to go to other sites or even talk to us to let us know what you want. You just make a suggestion and you're automatically logged in. And as you see, we have a pretty engaged community. We're super thankful for the first launch on PitchGround and the first marketing, even though they were small, the first marketing efforts gave us enough users and gave us enough feedback to keep the feedback loop going and build a good product. And you can definitely see that in the past couple of months, 4 or 5 months,
Indeed.
we've been getting constant feedback, and people have been asking for a lot of stuff in here. And to be honest, we're a bit overwhelmed, but we're working to increase the team and supply the demand.
And guys, you get a lot of support, as Drago said, from the previous pitch grounders, from the existing customers. We have a separate Facebook group for Archbee as well. I was saying about it. People in that Facebook group just love Archbee. They're sharing their screenshots about their
Yeah.
own documentation, wiki, etc. And speaking of sharing screenshots, we have Samira from Pathfix, and she's like, "We at Pathfix love Archbee. Our entire developer documentation runs on it." Samira, we were just showing how about the Pathfix documentation page. And yes, I'm glad you love Archbee, and I'm glad your company is using Archbee.
Thank you,
Guys,
Samira.
thank you for tuning into this webinar also, by the way.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say with yeah, thank you, Samira, for tuning in. It's amazing what you guys have built there, and uh, probably have the most thorough documentation we've seen with our system. But it's still early, so we're gonna get bigger customers, and we're gonna have more examples of this stuff. But what I wanted to say is, if there's something we don't do, feel free to just drop the suggestion in here. For example, if you want to export to Google Docs or the docx, drop the suggestion in here, and we're definitely going to see it, and other people are going to see it, and they're going to upvote it. And if it's a huge thing, we're definitely going to build it first. For now, we have other priorities. Uh, like the roadmap is already full, and we're doing the best we can to, you know, give you more value for the same money and for the same great user experience that we already provide. And if you go here, this is a multi-tool that you can also use to see what we've shipped and also see what we plan to ship in the future. We keep a very open process, and sometimes we tell people we don't want to go there. It happens sometimes, but most of the times people are very thoughtful and they provide very good feedback and very good suggestions, and it totally makes sense for us to build them. Because this is SaaS, you have to continuously innovate and continuously update and build your product so that you can increase value. This is the only way to get customers, by having other customers talk about you and how good you are.
And other customers are definitely talking about it even after grabbing the code. They're just here in the webinar. Abhishek, Samira, and other 2 3 people, I see them. They're here to support Archbee, support this webinar, and tell other people about how easy it is and how amazing of a tool Archbee is. Because you get everything, guys. The possibilities are endless. What you can do with it? As Gregor said about the custom CSS, about Google Analytics code that you can add, and you can add onto your own domain. And you also have the customer search queries coming in, which makes a huge difference. And you can export it as a PDF, or you can export it as a zip file. And guys, this is amazing. And we have a question as well.
Sure.
Ramchandra says the sheet is is it shareable?
The sheet? What sheet?
I mean, this is the whole. So Ramchandra, I understood your question. It's basically you can host it on your own domain name, and then it's available for the public to see.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
sure.
it's totally
Everything,
shareable.
yeah, everything is shareable. You can share the individual doc, or you can share the whole collection, like we talked about. It's very, very easy to do so. It's like one click most of the times. If you want to share it on your domain, it's probably like 3 clicks.
Wow.
So,
I thought there must be like a slew of features, like attaching this, that, and this is just 3 clicks to
yeah,
add to your domain name. Everything in this is shareable, Ramchandra. I hope that
yeah,
answers your question.
yeah. Because documentation is valuable for your team, but it's super valuable for your customers as well.
Indeed.
Either if you're building a SaaS, or if you're a marketing agency, or if you're a dev shop, or if you even if you're alone and plan to expand your team, this makes a good Notes app. So it's a
Indeed.
multi-tool, but we are a bit focused on the technical side, I must admit here. But we see people using this as many things. We are so overwhelmed with the amount of things people say to us.
And we would love to see what use case are you using. You can
Yeah,
subscribe
sure,
us with
definitely.
what kind of use case are you will be using. I told you our personal use case is about onboarding different new employees. Some use it for knowledge base, like how Pathfix uses it for documentation, and some use it just for personal notes, for scribbling, or to organize their projects. Agencies can use it, freelancers can use it, solopreneurs can use it. I mean, literally anyone can use it. The use cases are amazing. And if you come up with a new use case, please share it in the group, Archbee group Facebook, Archbee Facebook group, PitchGround Facebook group, and we would love to see what kind of use case and what you have done with Archbee. Like, guys, if you are a growing business or an agency or anything, you need a knowledge base, because there are customers coming to your website asking for support. And especially during Black Friday, you should see our customer support. They're just like working tirelessly day and night, uh, and answering support tickets, etc. But compared to few months ago, we didn't implement any kind of knowledge base, and we were adding the knowledge base features. And trust me, when we added features of knowledge base, etc., customer queries reduced. And that's why a
Yeah,
good knowledge base keeps your customers happy. They don't have
yeah,
to raise a ticket. All they have to do is go to the knowledge base, read about it, about any single offering that you're offering. A good knowledge base increases customer retention. You can
yes,
read about it. I don't have to tell you, about all the advantages of why you need a knowledge base. It is really important for a growing business. And if yours is a growing business, you need Archbee.
Yes. And the flip side of that, most companies become good at writing documentation for their customers when they become good at writing documentation for themselves. This is the only way to do it. And your own internal documentation can have its own benefits, and they're huge. You can do the same thing with less people, and you can be more efficient. You can ship features faster because everybody is in the know. You don't have to be all the time online. We've seen how hard it is these days with the COVID, where we're all locked down and working online. How hard it is to be constantly on Zoom and on Slack, and basically be required to be every single second of your working time to be online. It's very hard to be communicating synchronously. This is why asynchronous communication is a lot better. It's more efficient. It's one to many. It's not just one to one, and it scales beautifully.
Indeed. And we have support coming in. That's Amandeep Soni that's saying super astonishing. Thank you, Amandeep.
Thank you,
Glad you
Amandi.
like Archbee. Glad you like the product, the webinar, everything. Hope to see your use case soon. And another question we have is, how is it different from Support Hero? So do you know about the product Support Hero?
No, I don't. I'm not familiar with Support Hero. From the name,
Okay.
I would say this is an external knowledge base or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why, Takurani ji, why don't you just grab an Archbee code and compare it yourself with Support Hero? And if you don't like it, we offer a 60-day refund policy. You just have to click one click refund and you'll just get it. But I'm sure once you start using Archbee and start documenting everything, it's like, I love Archbee. It's gonna be, you will get that feeling in your head. So I ask you to try it out, because your your purchase is protected by a refund anyway. So yes, try it out and let us know if there are any more features that you want. You can always upvote it. The community is here, and join our community if you still want to know like how is Archbee different from Support Hero, etc. Join Archbee's Facebook group. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to Archbee's Facebook group right now. Let me share my screen. And oh, the screen sharing is not. Yes, it's working right now. Great. Hmm. Let me know if you can see my screen. Perfect. So this is the Archbee group that we have here. It's with this, again, knowledge base. Dragos is always publishing like what all new features that are coming, and quick, fast editing. You can see every update here, and you can see uh, I've achieved a lot with this tool, from testimonials from existing users. You can ask them, network with them, and ask them anything like how is Archbee working for them. You can see everything is, people are personally loving the new updates. This is a tool that is in works from a passionate founder like Dragos, who's here to answer any question that you have. And the community is also here. You can see Dragos answering every single question here. This is the kind of support you get when you buy a tool from PitchGround, when you buy a tool like Archbee with a passionate founder like Dragos here, who is just smiling always and ready to answer every single question you have. This is just random, guys. We didn't, you can see here, people are making memes on it as well. This is really fun. This is the kind of
Yeah.
love people show for Archbee, guys. And people only show love for products they like using, they use every single day. And you will be using Archbee every single day for your own personal notes or whatever use case you are. If you are a freelancer or entrepreneur or you're a business owner, etc., you will be using Archbee for every use case that is there is possible. And I just wanted to show that this is called Archbee community. You can join it. Ask anyone here. They'll give you your honest feedback and why they love Archbee. And this is the lifetime deal page on PitchGround, guys. It's called pitchground.com/products/Archbee. You can open it in new tab. I'm going to share it my screen right now. I can share it in the comments. Yes, I've shared it in the comments. And you can see this is a limited deal, guys. We spoke to Dragos and we asked them, Dragos, this Black Friday, we need you people. There's a demand from different people. And Dragos, how did it happen? Like, how did this deal come to Black Friday?
Yeah, it's so multiple things. We didn't want to make another lifetime deal because we were so focused on building the product, and we're basically not having enough time to do this. But multiple customers, like the customers from the last lifetime deal, asked us, well, do you want to have another lifetime deal because we want to add users, we want to have more of this stuff. And basically sometimes they said they just want to support us because they feel we can make a very good business out of this, and we already have actually. So they just want to
Indeed.
support us, and they just want to buy more of their stuff for their teams. So this was
And
actually
yeah,
we came in very late with the answer. The guys from PitchGround asked us a while back, and we said no. But then we changed our mind because so many people asked us to be able to upgrade their previous lifetime deals.
indeed. Indeed. So guys, as you can see, this lifetime is just $59. And people, we got so many requests of people from people that they were like, hey, we missed Archbee deal, is it coming back anytime soon, etc. Because businesses are definitely growing. The COVID effect is going off. I'm glad that is happening. Businesses are coming back, and you'll be needing a knowledge base like Archbee, documentation solution like Archbee, which is just for $59 lifetime. And this is what you get. I suppose you are a medium-sized business. If you're watching this, you can have 10 members with CNAME support, of course, that is there included in the deal. But if you let's say you have 15 members, just like our PitchGround team, which has around 14 members, you can add, you can purchase the add-on as well, which is just for like $39, and you get an additional workspace and 5 additional team members. That is insane. And you can read about it here. You can ask every single question here. And guys, we saw it with Virus Die that $59 products sell off really, really soon than all the other plans that we offer, like all the higher tier plans that we offer. So, guys, this is for 9 days, 18 hours. You can see here. There's no rush, but all I can say is this is a $59 plan, and it can be like sold out anytime soon. I never know when. It can be tomorrow, tonight. After watching this webinar, people just go and crazily click the buy now button. I'm not sure, but if the codes expire, Archbee is not coming back because Dragos is busy building new features, new UI that Archbee users are loving. And that is why you need Archbee for your business, because there's so many updates that Dragos has planned. You can ask for integrations, etc., community support, and you'll be using Archbee every single day. So we have more questions that are coming in. That is really exciting. And Abhishek is asking, have any of your customers run out of the 10 GB limit? It seems like a lot, but if I ever hit the ceiling, what happens after the limit? Interesting question, Abhishek.
No, actually, none of our customers has hit the 10 gigabit limit. To be honest here, I don't see I mean, sometimes they might be able to do that in the future, but we're definitely not a file upload solution. We're not a Dropbox or a Google Drive. We're a documentation solution. So this is why we have integrations to some of those types of solutions. So you can upload your files there and then just link it back to ours. And this is how it works. But we will definitely think about if people start hitting the limit. Of course, we're not going to force them to to buy new stuff. We're just gonna bump it up a little bit so
So
we can
Abhishek,
satisfy demand.
yeah, that's right. Nobody till now, till date, has hit the 10 GB limit. So I'm pretty sure you're not gonna hit that 10 GB limit too. But in case, in like hypothetical case that if it happens, Dragos is here to help you out.
Sure.
And Ramchandra Dash says, "Cool, Ramchandra. I'm glad you like this tool. Guys, there are ample number of feedbacks, ample number of users that are using Archbee. This is a tool that has got some amazing feedback here at PitchGround. There's like a small niche number of people initially who loved the tool when we released it back that time on a lifetime deal. But since all people were using it, they were like, yes, we want this kind of solution for our website too. We want to host it on our domain too. This is so cool. This is so fast. And it has Google Analytics. It has, you can input any kind of chatbot over there, which is insane again. This is, you can truly make your own Archbee, guys. Truly make your own, truly customize it to your own use case. And that's why we are like, we want to see your use case.
Yeah. To expand a bit on the fast, so we've been lauded by many people that we're the fastest solution in the space. And to be honest, as an engineer myself, because I'm building this stuff, I'm writing all the code so far, and speed is the one of the most important things for me. I cannot stand when I hit a Google Docs or some other solution document and I have to wait 3 seconds for it to load. I cannot stand when it takes a long while, and not even Google likes it. For example, better pages that are served faster get more SEO points. So we're definitely putting a lot of effort into keeping the platform fast, because as we add more features, it's kind of natural to slow it down a bit. But we have insights from many customers that this happened to other solutions in the space and they didn't enjoy it, and they're actually super mad about it. And the speed is very important for us. We're always gonna keep speed as a top 3 priority in the product development.
And you saw me using it, guys. This is, I can again share my screen and show you how fast it is. There's real time happening live in the webinar. We're not just saying like, hey, it's fast. You can see every single thing loads really fast. I can just click on one thing. This literally took, I couldn't even complete my sentence, and every single thing here works damn fast. I can just load multiple like this and it just keeps loading really, really fast. And even the search thing. Let's say I'm again going to search the favorite feature Slack. It hardly, if you can count, it hardly took me 1 second. Or not even 1 second. Actually. And this is the fastest, like Dragos has written the code himself. He knows it. And speed is his number one priority as well. And this is 2020, guys. You cannot slow things down.
You can't. It's
Absolutely.
we're actually very scientific about this. We have a rule inside: no action should take more than 50 milliseconds. If it does, we need to do something about it. And there are a couple which take 100 milliseconds, but most of them are below 100 milliseconds.
I don't have any words. Like we are calculating in milliseconds. Wow. I never saw it. I never knew that there's a rule like this inside your workspace. You should probably print it on a t-shirt saying, hey, 50-second rule, 50 millisecond rule, at Archbee. This is really cool. Trust me. You have to do that. Tell your people about it. And we got our very first sale. Abhishek, you made the right choice. Abhishek is loving the product, loving Archbee. He's moving all his virtual assistant SOPs, all his docs to Archbee. And Abhishek, you made the right choice, my friend, because you saw the tool, how powerful it is, the kind of founder you have, the kind of updates the founder is pushing out. This is a tool that you will keep it and keep using it forever. And your virtual assistants would love it as well. So thank you so
awesome,
much for
Abhishek.
trusting, Abhishek. You are amazing, and you made the right choice by getting Archbee as for your Black Friday, Cyber Monday splurge. So, yep, congratulations, Abhishek, and thank you so much for trusting us. Are there any people like Abhishek who are just buying in the webinar right now? This is so fun. I mean, they're like, Abhishek, you're too fast actually, and for faster people like you need Archbee, and you made the wise decision. So I can see people are doing love reactions. They're typing that heart button in the live. I can see people typing in likes. Let me give you a huge shout out for all the likers, commenters, supporters. Tay Terence, Ganesh Kumar, Roni Samuel, Natapol Supmanu, Satyaraju, Sushil Goenka, Daniel Adam Goldberg. And that's Ramchandra, who's been commenting and supporting us, Samira, who's using Archbee on her website and on her product, and you're commenting and joining this webinar. Thank you so much. Amandeep Soni, you're like astonishing. So you left the wow reaction. The love for Archbee is amazing. Honestly, this is like it this is amazing. That's all I can say. The engagement has been great, and you guys are love.
Yeah, that
That's all I
it's
can say.
really been amazing. I'm super thankful for all that's happened this year and seeing so many people use the solution I imagined in my head a couple of years back. I'm super amazed by how the whole universe works. Thank you guys. It's super amazing what's happening.
And especially you, Dragos, when you're like shared with me how you work and the 50 millisecond rule, and then there's also about you know the new UI updates, etc. I've also spoken to like existing Archbee users. I need to do a webinar, so I need to know like, okay, what is your main use case that's working? And everyone's like, just promote it. People need to get this right now. Yeah, so the feedback has been great. So I welcome you to join the Archbee community on Facebook. Ask any user any question because everyone's loving Archbee. And we have one last question from Abhishek. Does view only access given to our virtual assistant count to the user limit?
Um, so guest accounts are free, but they only work for when you share the collection externally. Anybody that's in your workspace is going to be counted as your user limit. So, for example, if you have 5 team members, members are going to be counted. If you share that collection with one of your customers and he has 100 users, you can create 100 guest accounts, and you're not gonna be charged for that. You're not gonna be they're not gonna count to your user limit.
Wow. Wow. Abhishek, this is a great news for you, especially when you have already got the product. Thank you. That's all I can say. And let's see if there are any more comments that are coming in from people. Let's look at that. And guys, today morning I made a post on Facebook, and I said, one of you guys is winning something. Only one of you. Because we have a limited codes of Archbee. It might get sold off before the 9-day plan. We never know. But so one of you, we want to give you Archbee. So who's here from the morning post which I did? I can read comments. I can share my screen, and because I want to gift you Archbee, guys. So if you are here from the morning post that I did, that's giveaway number 27. Yes, we've been going crazy on the giveaways. That's 24 hours, 24 giveaways. We've done more than that actually. So if you're here from the morning, you know, post, let me know. I'm gonna type in a banner. That is, you can let me know. The banner is say hello. Say hello, Archbee. If you're here from the morning post, I'm just gonna add the banner. I'll verify it. So you just cannot say hello, Archbee. we, because of your immense support that you're showing us, we want to give you Archbee. We want you to become productive, and we want you to share the feedback with us. We want you to use it. We want you to see your use cases, and that's why we want one lucky person is winning Archbee right now in this webinar. I'm gonna announce the name. So let me see. So if you are here from the morning post which I did, that's giveaway number 27 about joining the Archbee webinar. Just comment hello Archbee, and you're gonna win Archbee lifetime deal for yourself. So I'm looking at the comments, by the way, in the new tab. Let me search. We got one comment here that's saying, hello, Archbee from Tate Terrence. Let's see if Tate Terrence has commented in the morning. So I'm sharing my screen, guys. This is happening live in front of you. I'm just not like giving away to anyone like that. And Dragos, tell me when you can see my screen.
I can.
Perfect. So I can see people here, and Tay Terrence, I've just searched it. He's here. He's been supporting us. So if there's anyone, let me know. He even signed up for the webinar. He definitely is serious about organizing his business or everything. Let me know. I'm verifying all the comments, and I don't see any other people. That means Tay Terrence, you are the winner of the Archbee lifetime deal. Congratulations for winning a lifetime deal from PitchGround. That's Archbee lifetime deal. And yes, Abhishek has already testing it. It's extremely well built and glitch free. Indeed, Abhishek, the main developer is Dragos is right in front of you. He's extremely serious about taking this product to a whole new level in the coming days, months, years. And you would be glad if you got Archbee right now. You'd be really glad. Your customers would thank you if you're using it as a knowledge base. If your users would thank you. Your employees would thank you if you make an SOP, or even if you want to improve the onboarding process, they would thank you. They
Yeah.
would.
Here's one thing, guys. Go to g2.com and search for Archbee, and you're going to see a lot of reviews from our existing customers. And some of them are customers from the lifetime deal offer we did a while back. And, as people say, word of mouth is the best. Go there and see what they say about us. We're not perfect. We're improving. And this is what we've been doing the whole time. And this is what we're going to keep doing. Build the best
Indeed.
product. We're gonna have the best product in no time. We're probably there already.
Awesome. And I just opened G2, guys. I don't want to share my screen once again. I just want you to open G2 and check it. It's the reviews are raving, and I'm sure you're gonna use this tool. You will also go to G2 and leave an amazing review for Archbee because you will love it. And you made my day again, Vinay. Thanks. And thanks, Abhishek. Abhishek, your feedback definitely helps other people as well. Other new users who want to get Archbee, who want to try Archbee. And congratulations, Tay. I like message you after this. Message me after this. I'm just gonna, talk to you and tell the team. And I guess that's it for today's webinar. And guys, Archbee is still there. Grab it while you still can on the pitchground.com/products/Archbee. You just get it. You can easily get it in the PitchGround website for just $59. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And with the community support and the upcoming features, this deal really blows my mind. And Tay is so excited that he's like, I'll definitely leave a positive review. Tay, we want honest reviews, not positive reviews, because we are looking for feedback. If it's positive, yes, we would definitely love it. But we want honest reviews because we are here to develop the product. Your
Yes.
feedback helps. Your feedback helps. And I'm sure that's going to be positive. That's all I can say. And guys, if you haven't won the product, don't worry. We are announcing its amazing giveaway, and every single person from across the world can participate in that giveaway. That is the most mega giveaway we have ever done. Last night I was discussing with Udit, crazy, and you can win $50. Anyone can win $50. You can win $50. Your friends can win $50. Even their friends can win $50. And if you are 100% winning $50, that's for sure. And if you're winning $50, this is the tool that you need to grab. Telling you guys. And with that, I just want to thank Dragos for this webinar. Thank you, Dragos, for joining us and sharing about everything about Archbee and telling us our insights about your tool. And I hope you had fun.
Thank you too, Minang. This was great, and I had lots of fun. Thank you for all the participants in the webinar. Hope to see you in the Archbee community or in the chat. Write us your feedback. Wherever we're gonna take care of you very well.
100%. 100%. Thank you so much.